There is a video game franchise that has impacted my life in more ways than one. From first playing this game on the couch, to now on the pitch, this game has connected me to the rest of the world, made me experience emotions I never thought I'd feel, and introduced me to one of my greatest passions. But while this beautiful game is loved by many, it's changed and doesn't feel the same as it once was. However, there is a certain era for when this video game shined the brightest in my opinion. The Golden Age, you could say. From all the legendary players that ruled the pitch, to the community around this game, this era left a huge mark on millions of people and changed my life. That game was FIFA. While many might consider FIFA 09, FIFA 10, or even FIFA 11 as the start of the Golden Age, I believe FIFA 12 is when the Golden Age truly started. This game started it all for so many players, expanded upon the previous games, and laid the groundwork for everything great about FIFA. Now, I should probably mention a couple things before I continue with the video. Firstly, I'm a filthy American who calls his sport soccer, so please bear with me. Secondly, I never really grew up with soccer, or football for the rest of you. Growing up in the States, I would mostly watch other sports like American football and hockey, so soccer wasn't really a huge part of my life, except for watching the World Cup with my family and supporting South Korea. Oh, and lastly, I'm Korean, so that's why I support South Korea in every national competition and why I'm a Tottenham Hotspur fan. But anyways, while the previous games were great, this game evolved the franchise into the modern era. The gameplay was significantly improved with the introduction of the new impact engine, tactical defending, and precision dribbling. This game featured the iconic scroll bar menu. Career mode had a lot more depth to it, featured real-life pictures of players, and gave you the option of being a player manager. Ultimate Team was much more streamlined, featuring the iconic chemistry system, Team of the Weeks, and almost every card was usable back then, even bronze cards. Head-to-head seasons let you compete against other players online in a ranked setting and climb your way up to Division 1. Pro clubs allowed you to create your own player using the Creation Center, form a team with your friends, and play against other clubs. You could even play 11v11 and have each player control a specific position. And I also loved how the cover art changed depending on where you lived. Here in the States, we were blessed with the Landon Donovan cover. This game cemented FIFA's legacy as being the best soccer video game and was when most people got into FIFA. But for me though, my FIFA journey started with FIFA 13. I originally got into FIFA because of my friend Vinny, where every time I went over to his house, we would play FIFA 13 together. Now before then, I wasn't really familiar with soccer besides the World Cup, but playing this game was super fun for me and opened my eyes to the sport. I remember constantly playing kickoff with him. He would always play as FC Barcelona because he's a huge Messi fan, and I would always choose Correy Republic, because of course I did. But even though I would get demolished every game, I still had a lot of fun, which eventually made me go out and purchase the game for myself. This game gives me so many memories. I remember the iconic intro of Messi scissor kicking the ball into the net every time I booted up the game, the main menu with the hexagon background, and the beautiful practice arena. I would spend hours here shooting and practicing my skill moves, and it just brings me so much nostalgia. I would mainly play kickoff mode with my friends over Xbox Live, but I also dabbled in other game modes like Ultimate Team and Career Mode. For Ultimate Team, this game continued the iconic OG pack opening animation where the highest rated player's name would flash on the screen, and the cards would supercross revealing who you got. This game also had so many old features like formation modifiers, morale cards, and broken players like 79 rated David Luiz, 78 rated Adel Tarabt, and 84 rated Balotelli. And this was when Ultimate Team started to become the forefront of FIFA. Career Mode had a lot of nostalgic features too, like the OG menu layout and homestick transfers. This game also introduced skill games which are pretty fun. The gameplay was fine-tuned and felt more responsive thanks to the new first touch control mechanic, and this was one of the last FIFAs to feel more arcadey. Everything about this game feels great and improved upon so many things FIFA 12 already got right. FIFA 13 is often remembered as one of the best FIFAs of all time and was the game that started it all for me. But there was another game that many would argue might be a bit better. FIFA 14 rivals FIFA 13 in being one of the best FIFAs of all time and introduced a lot of new features that elevated the franchise to a whole new level. For starters, this game introduced a whole new menu layout, ditching the old scrollbar menu and going for this more modern design. I always loved this menu layout with the stadium background and how all the different options and squares had real life pictures associated with them, making this game feel more connected to the real life sport and would continue with every future title. This game also used the new Ignite engine, which made the game feel more realistic and less arcadey, even though it was mostly crossing and heading. And this was also the first game to be on the next generation of consoles, though most people just stay on their current ones. Ultimate Team had a complete makeover as well. This was the first game to introduce the shield card design, ditching the old blocky rectangle cards and enhancing the fantasy aspect of this mode. This game also added Legends for the first time, where we could play as iconic retired players. It had a new pack opening animation, added new features like chemistry styles, being able to look up specific players in the transfer market, and had so many iconic cards like a Barbo, Daniel Sturridge, Ramirez, Team of the Year Ibrahimovic, and Record Breaker Close. Career mode and pro clubs had a bunch of quality of life updates as well, but one feature that made this game so memorable in my opinion was the World Cup mode. This mode let us play as all the national teams and players present at the World Cup, and featured a new Ultimate Team mode as well, but the main difference being that there was no transfer market, so you could only use players that you packed, which made the game much more interesting. EA also released a separate game for the World Cup 2 that featured even more modes like Captain Your Country, over 200 national teams, and was the last World Cup to get its own separate game. Overall, all the changes and new features in this game evolved FIFA into what it is now, shifted the game from being arcadey to more realistic, and is why so many consider this one of the best in the series. However, my personal favorite is FIFA 15. FIFA 15 was the first year where I religiously played Ultimate Team, and it changed my life. For better or for worse. This is when I started learning about all the different leagues and clubs all around the world, like the BPL, Liga BBVA, Serie A, Bundesliga, and Ligue 1. I started getting invested with the actual sport and learned about how good all the different players in real life were due to their FIFA ratings. And this was the year where I built my first South Korean squad, something I would do with every future FIFA. Building my South Korean squad every year was my favorite thing to do, and I remember so many iconic players like Lee Dong-guk, Son Heung-min, Koo Ja-chol, Ki Sung-young, and so many more. I got so invested into Korean players that I started learning more about the K-League and all the different teams like FC Seoul, Ulsan Hyundai, and Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors. This game also added a bunch of noteworthy features like changing the heading stat to physical, concept squads, loan players, updated player models, and new goalkeeper AI and animations. But I have so many fond memories with this game. I remember the main menu, with the iconic stadium background, and loving the aesthetic of this game. The circle ring theme of this game gives me so much nostalgia, and I loved how all the cards looked this year. I loved using trading cards on all my low rated players, like for my South Korean squad, and especially my favorite player in the game, Baha Beck. He was in my starter pack when I first started my Ultimate Team, and I would use him for the longest time, eventually becoming my highest goal scoring player that year. This game also had one of the most memorable Team of the Years in my opinion, featuring players like Neuer, Sergio Ramos, Thiago Silva, Iniesta, Messi, and that 99 rated Cristiano Ronaldo. To this day, I still don't know how David Luiz made it in, or why Lam's gold card was a CDM instead of a right back, but this Team of the Year gives me so much nostalgia. I remember spending a crazy amount of money on packs this year. Every time I got money from my family, I would immediately spend them on FIFA points, and it low-key gave me a gambling addiction. This was my gacha before gacha. I remember all the overpowered players this year, but none more than the infamous AS Roma attacking trio of Gervinho, Dumbia, and a Barbo. That shit still gives me nightmares. I remember building a bunch of budget squads for all the different leagues and nationalities, and constantly using my catalog coin boosts. I was addicted to this mode, and was when I stopped focusing on all the other modes. However, I will admit that there were a couple things about this game that weren't so great. They removed player trading due to all the coin selling websites back then. They also added price ranges into the game, preventing cards from being sold above a certain threshold, and kind of fucked the transfer market. And the game was heavily pace reliant. No other game has made me rage this much. But even with all the negatives, FIFA 15 is still amazing and will always be my favorite FIFA due to all the memories I have of this game. While some might consider FIFA 15 as the end of the golden era, I believe these next two games deserve to be in the conversation. FIFA 16 is probably the most underrated FIFA in my opinion. With how iconic the older games are, I can understand why some might view this game as a step below the others, but I still enjoyed it. The whole theme for this game were crystals and sharp triangles, which made the game feel brighter. I've always loved how FIFA would change their theme every year, and I personally like the aesthetic of this game a lot. This game also had a big emphasis on stadiums this year. Your main menu background would change depending on what stadium you had equipped, which was super cool, and this was the first year where women were added into FIFA. Only a kickoff though. For Ultimate Team, they made a bunch of quality of life improvements like tagging what cards you wanted to keep and discard in packs, and being able to look up special cards in the transfer market now. And this was also when they added Foot Draft, a whole new mode within Ultimate Team. Everyone played this mode this year, in the hopes of building a 193 squad, and it also allowed us to use amazing cards that we normally wouldn't be able to afford, plus the rewards were nice. I probably played this game just as much as FIFA 15, and I have so many great memories with this game. I remember loving how all the special cards had new dynamic pictures this year. Before, they just reused the same picture of the player and changed the color of the card, but having pictures taken from their actual games was such a cool underrated feature and has continued with every future title, especially those Team of the Year cards. This is probably my favorite Team of the Year of all time. I love the new card design with the black and blue, the new dynamic pictures made them feel even more legendary, and this was the first year where I felt all the players deserved to be in the Team of the Year. The new pack opening animation was cool as well and added heightened suspense. The highlight for me this year was packing 90 rated Suarez. This year it's some of the most iconic Team of the Season cards in my opinion, like 99 rated Cristiano Ronaldo and 98 rated Messi, Suarez, Ibrahimovic, and Lewandowski. It had so many other iconic cards like record breaker Vardy, Higuain and Godin getting a shit ton of informs this year, and all the special Euro cards. Even though this FIFA isn't as iconic as the others, I still had a lot of fun. However, everything would change with their next game. FIFA 17 is commonly regarded as the last good FIFA and changed everything we knew about the game. They introduced the new Frostbite engine, which further evolved the game and made it feel even more realistic. They implemented even more gameplay changes and celebrations, some good and some bad. This game also featured a new story mode called The Journey, where you follow Alex Hunter as he rises through the ranks of the Premier League. This is such a cool new feature, and I personally love playing this mode more than career mode. But Ultimate Team had the most changes here and added so many new features that would become staples for future titles. Firstly, squad building challenges. This was a new feature where you could trade your unwanted cards to build squads that meet certain criteria to earn better rewards. This was something I used to grind, especially with how good 2 rare gold player packs were. They also featured different SBCs for each league, marquee matchups, player awards, and end of an era cards. Trying to find solutions to link players together was so much fun and was honestly one of the best features they've ever added. This was also the year when they added a bunch of new special cards like Ones to Watch, Ultimate Scream, and Movember cards. However, the biggest change for this game was undoubtedly FUT Champs. This year had a huge emphasis on the competitive side of FIFA, and alongside that came a whole new ranked mode for all the sweats in the game. Qualifying by winning matches in other modes, players would need to play a whopping 40 matches in a weekend to climb the leaderboard, but the rewards are crazy. This FIFA added so many new features, and I remember so much from this year. Firstly, I love the new card designs. Having the theme of dashes and lines made this game feel even more modern. I also love the new pack walkout animations. The tell of knowing when you gotta walk out by the long pause before opening the pack, the flag slowly rolling down in the background, and your player walking out from behind the pack was amazing. This is also the year where they changed a lot of the players' ratings to make it more even. In previous years, Messi and Ronaldo would usually be 92 or 93 rated, and the rest of the players would be 90 rated or below, but now, all the ratings were adjusted to make it seem more leveled. This year, Ronaldo was 94 rated, Messi was 93 rated, and Neymar, Suarez, and Neuer were all 92 rated now. Same for the Team of the Year, where the lowest rated card was now only 93 rated instead of 89 rated. I remembered all the overpowered cards like Butland, Bailly, Smalling, Conte, Martial, Nainggolan, and I also remember completing both Player of the Month Son SBCs. He was amazing that year, being awarded 2 Player of the Month cards, and is the reason why I became a Tottenham Hotspur fan. This is probably my all-time favorite card in FIFA, and I'm so glad I was able to get him. This game changed FIFA forever and perfectly blended the new features in with the classics, but it also marked the end of the golden era. However, I want to talk about another reason why these games were so iconic. One thing EA gets consistently right with every FIFA is the soundtrack. Of course, I had to dedicate a whole section of this video just for this. Every year, no matter how good or bad the game is, you know the soundtrack will be fire. FIFA soundtracks have become so iconic and popular that people recognize these songs in public just because of FIFA. From indie rock to EDM, vibes to bangers, well-known artists or not, the songs and sound EA goes for perfectly captures the energy of FIFA. There are so many great and iconic FIFA songs that I could probably make another dedicated video just talking about the music alone, but here are some of my personal favorites.
If you can't walk, then run. If you can't walk, then run. Walk, then run.
FIFA 12 through 17 all have iconic soundtracks, my personal favorite being FIFA 15, and has introduced me to so many great artists. But even with how bad FIFA has gone, you can't deny how good the soundtracks are. Listening to these songs while sitting in the main menu brings me so much nostalgia and makes me love this franchise even more. However, there is another reason why so many people loved FIFA. FIFA on YouTube was huge back in the day. From watching pack openings to Road to Glory series, this game introduced me to so many great YouTubers and had one of the best communities on YouTube. Now, there weren't a lot of FIFA YouTubers here in the States, shocking I know, so this is when I was introduced to the British YouTube scene. Starting with FIFA 12, KSI's Road to Division 1 series was the shit. His over-the-top editing, funny commentary, and older videos were legendary. So many people fondly remember this series, and for most of them, this was their childhood. FIFA 13 was when Ultimate Team started to become the forefront of FIFA content. Team of the Year pack openings and Road to Glory series were all the rage back then, but I especially remember watching the Gaming Lemon the most with his Lemonators FC series. FIFA 14 was when pink slip videos were everywhere on YouTube. Having YouTubers play against each other and the loser having to give up their best player was the highlight of this year. However, FIFA 15 was when the YouTube community was at an all-time high. I remember watching so many iconic YouTubers this year like all the sidemen, minus Vicstar, Spencer FC, Anyson Gibb, Ezekiel Gaming HD, Mad HD Gamer, and so many more. This was probably when I watched FIFA content the most. I remember religiously watching pack openings, Road to Glory series like Mini Minter's Your Ultimate Team, Zerka's Packed Out, and Spencer FC's Wheel of Fortune series, Search and Discard videos, FIFA Bingo, and watching so many FIFA YouTubers collaborate with each other was amazing to see, especially the OG Sidemen house. And I remember so many iconic moments from this year too, like Anyson Gibb packing Pele, Zerka packing Team of the Year Ronaldo twice, and Castro getting his own custom hero card. FIFA 15 was when the franchise peaked on YouTube in my opinion, and was when I became ingrained within the FIFA community. And FIFA 16 only continued to hype for me. This year was mainly dominated by foot draft videos and people trying to build a 193 squad. I remember watching a lot of YouTubers complete this challenge, but none more than Rodashaw. I also remember watching so many Team of the Year and Team of the Season pack openings from YouTubers like Chris MD and Capgun Tom, and this is also when I started watching Ultimate Team upgrade leagues like Bates&87's Fatal and the Sidemen's Royal Rumble series. But FIFA 17 was when I started pivoting away from funny commentary videos to more informational style videos. Team of the Year pack openings and foot chat videos were still hype, especially with the new walkout animation for packs, but this year is mainly dominated by foot champs and guide videos for me. I remember watching a lot of YouTubers like Swayback, AA9 Skills, and the Penthez open top 100 foot champs packs with the red and gold cards, SBC guide videos, and Team of the Week preview videos. All in all, these guys inspired me so much growing up and eventually made me want to start uploading FIFA videos myself. But eventually, as FIFA started to become more and more stale, and most of the big FIFA YouTubers moved on to other things, that's when I started slowly moving away from FIFA. FIFA never really felt the same after FIFA 17. FIFA 18 was meh. FIFA 19 is arguably considered one of the worst FIFAs of all time. FIFA 20 was a blur, and the last three FIFAs with Mbappe as the cover star have all been pretty forgettable. I continued playing FIFA all the way up till FIFA 23, but stopped once EA and FIFA split up. For me, the game has gotten increasingly worse every year and has become a former shell of what it once was. I had to spend more real-life money every year just to buy the players I wanted. It started to feel more like a job than a hobby, and it just wasn't fun anymore. But while this franchise has been ragged on for the past couple years, you can't deny how good FIFA used to be. I miss hearing the old commentators of Martin Tyler and Alan Smith during my matches. I miss when special cards used to be a big deal. Now it seems like any player can get one just for existing. I miss when Neuer, Sergio Ramos, Thiago Silva, Iniesta, Messi, and Ronaldo would be in every Team of the Year. And I just miss how fun FIFA used to be. FIFA 12 through 17 were some of the best years of my life, introduced me to my favorite sport, and let me witness so many amazing moments in real life. From watching South Korea knock out Germany in the 2018 World Cup, to Lucas Moura's hat-trick against Ajax in the 2018 Champions League semifinals, to attending an FC Seoul game in Korea and seeing Ki Sung-young play in person. I'm extremely grateful that I was able to get into this game when I did, and for all the memories this game has provided me.